It is always a pleasure to talk to you about your films. I can't tell you the positive energy that I get from those movies because you're just in the groove from second one.
Yes.
Is it the same for you? You know, when you start shooting those films, there's kind of a vibe to them that uplifts.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there was a great vibe coming into making this second movie. It was much easier than the first movie. It felt like, you know, we just picked up where we left off. Everyone knew exactly what to do. We had the benefit of the success of the first movie, but also like the finished product to look back on and say, we understand what works about this now. So coming into the second movie, it was really easy. It felt really good.
It's easy to understand what works about this, but is it more the humor? Is it more the music? Is it more the unusual aspect of it?
I think it's really a combination of all those things. The humor, the music, the emotion, the story, the spectacle, you know, the beauty. It's all of those things, and I think they all blend together to make this movie. And it really comes down to our writer-director, James Gunn. He's an extraordinary storyteller, and he works his butt off as well with us. And, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of other people over the course of several years to bring it to the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talking about working your bum off, it's, you know, when it's a comedy, people think that you don't work as hard at the stunts and at running around and at getting in shape for it, but it's exactly the same, if not worse, right?
Oh, I mean, this is definitely an epic in that there's elements of comedy, but we do work hard, and it does have a lot of stunts, and it does have a lot of big set piece action sequences. This is a movie that took, I think we had over 90 shoot days, and that's a lot of work. But the way James Gunn works, he's so efficient. You can really put like 120 days worth of work into 90 days.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Without giving too much away, Quill kind of discovers his heritage.
Yeah.
We don't want to say what it is too much without, you know, revealing it to the audience. But what can you say that, you know, whets their appetite?
Well, let's just say Quill does explore the realities of his biological father. He meets a character named Ego, the living planet. It's a very powerful and extraordinary character. And, you know, we get to see him as he experiences this very unique heritage.
How do you feel he grows in this one all the more? I mean, obviously the first one was already a character arc. This one is a Discovery 360.
Yeah, this is definitely, that's true. The first movie, he grows, he becomes part of this group, he becomes the leader of this group, and takes on the responsibility of making sure they stay out of trouble. And in the second movie, we pick up a couple months after that, he is keeping them out of trouble with mixed results, and or trying to keep them out of trouble with mixed results. And yeah, there's a major growth through the course of this, and it has to do with his relationship with his biological father and with his adoptive father, Yondu, and how that all works out. You see a tremendous amount of growth through the character, and through all of the characters through the course of this, because we explored further and more deeply the relationship between Gamora and Nebula, and between Rocket and Yondu, between Draxs and this new character Mantis. You're really exploring deeply these relationships, and you get to know a lot more about these characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get attached to them a lot more, which is hopefully good if we have a volume 3.
Yeah, I think we will. We've announced it. We're doing volume 3.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you are.
Me too.
Let's talk about the music and how, you know, enthusiastic I would be if I was part of this set, you know, to just tell everyone what, you know, music from the 80s I love the most.
Yeah.
So are you like that a little bit? Do you try to infuse like your songs to them, or does it come just, you know soundtracks?
The soundtrack is totally picked out before we even start. I mean, James knows exactly what we're going to go in there and do.
Because it's part of the storytelling.
Because it's part of the story. Because it actually is part of the storytelling. A lot of movies will put great songs in to accompany the scenes, but James does this thing where he infuses the story into the movie, because there's not a song that's going to play that isn't the result of that song being played in the moment in the movie. Because Star-Lord, you know, Peter Quill does have his awesome mix 1 and his awesome mix 2. The music is very much a part of the story. Yeah. And it does more than just accompany the scene. It helps tell the story.
Absolutely. The fans sent a few questions. They wanted to know, first of all, you know, when you were growing up, was there a superhero from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that you kind of wanted to be? And
I really loved The Punisher. I was a big fan of The Punisher. And
they did make a movie.
They've made several. There's been several incarnations of The Punisher on screen and in TV, I think. And so I'm just a big fan of that character. I thought he was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Second one, if obviously the obvious thing, but if you had to invent your own superpower, which one would it be?
Invent my own superpower? Man, probably like The ability, like, I would love to be able to just, something really destructive, probably.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would be the best. Just to have the ability to snap my fingers and just destroy people. I'd probably be a super villain.
Wouldn't you like that?
I'd like that a lot more. I'm tired of fighting for good. I don't want to smash some people.
No more good guy. No more nice guy. I would really want to be a teleporter. I'd like to be, sitting with you now, 2 seconds later with my baby, 3 seconds later interviewing Jennifer Lawrence in the States. I mean, teleportation is a good superpower.
That would be nice. Yeah, keep you out of the airport. I'm going to take that one. Teleportation.
Teleporter.
I wish I could just like snap my fingers and be where I need to be.
Exactly. Isn't it a good one?
Yeah.
I thought about that. Yes, exactly. See, I infused that in you.
I like it.
Another question from Heike. How does Star-Lord's Walkman work in space? And are there still classic batteries up there?
How does Star-Lord's Walkman work in space? I guess just like a regular Walkman, it relies on batteries. And we've always assumed that, because James was asked this question, he thought that, we've got a spaceship and we've got all the technology. They were able to find a way to develop batteries that would fit the Walkman.
Shall we say that there's a teeny bit of a twist in this one without giving anything away?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, this thing takes you all over the place, most definitely, and it's completely surprising and catches you off guard in every way.
Absolutely. Great. From Isabella, are all the Guardians suitable as role models, and what could fans take from them?
I don't know if they're necessarily role models. I mean, there are certain things that they do that, certain behaviors that we should try to follow in terms of working together as a team, but they're misfits for sure, and they're criminals and murderers. They're not the Avengers. We're not necessarily role models.
However, the silver lining is that they are fully aware of their own flaws. Yeah, they're not pretending to be something else.
Right, they're not pretending to be something else. They learn to work together. At the end of the day, their goals are altruistic, but they have a hell of a kind of rock star way of getting there.
Absolutely. Who do you most enjoy, I'm not going to ask who do you most enjoy working with on the set, there's so many people, but what makes the ensemble so fun? Voilà.
Man, I think it's like really good material. It's good material and good people. We've got a great leader and James, and and just working for the Marvel family, they really do feel like family. They take care of us, and it always is really feels good to be part of something big and to be part of something you're going to be proud of. I think all of those elements combined, there's really no reason for any of us to be in a bad mood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes for great premieres. I mean, the first one in Los Angeles tonight, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But the Hoff was there.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the relation of the Hoff with that film? Without giving any... I'm just trying to make it spicy.
Yeah, there's a moment you'll see where, Peter Quill has built up the idea of who his father could be over the course of time. And of course, as we know from the first movie, and we continue to see in the second movie, his ideology is based on these pop icons from the 80s that were on Earth before he left. So people like Kevin Bacon or David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
And, the idea is that he carried a picture of David Hasselhoff around in his wallet and used to tell people that was his father. And so he's always dreamed that his father could be some super awesome dude who drives around in a talking car and, plays rock music and fights robots or whatever he thinks David Hasselhoff is. He's built up this character in his brain and has really high expectations for that man who could be his father. And whether or not those expectations are met, we get to find out.
Absolutely. And finally, are you able to gauge at the moment how this series of films and the Jurassics of this world have changed the course of your career?
I mean, I don't know exactly. We'll see in the future. Right now I'm just kind of one step at a time and trying to stay, calm in the eye of this storm of promoting these movies and making these movies. And, I definitely feel as though I have access to greater stories now and great filmmakers, and I can tell that there's been a change, and I just hope I can keep it going and do my best to, show up on the day and do good work. And I'm not exactly sure. But it feels good. Whatever it is, it feels good.